Minova are a mining services company. We develop and manufacture underground support systems. We have a couple of manufacturing facilities within Australia, but around the globe as well. And we have numerous warehouses across Australia. We have a range of products. So we do chemicals, we also do steel, and we do everything in between, basically. So we have a number of different ways that we bring our materials in. So whether it be manufacturing, we import it, and we purchase domestically as well. So a number of different supply chains within our company. It's not just one method at all. We had very high inventory levels, and we didn't quite know how to reduce it. We were using MRP, which in itself is fine, was fine, but it would take the planners a good week to get through all their materials. We were using the safety stock method, which hadn't, the reviews for the safety stocks were long overdue. So, but the planners simply didn't have time to review those safety stocks because they were so busy doing the planning. We also had a lot of materials that we weren't getting to in time. So we were having late deliveries, or we were missing the fact that we were getting too low on a delivery until we were notified by a warehouse person or a manufacturing person. So just the visibility wasn't there, and the planners were under a lot of pressure to get through all the materials and try and get supply going, but then not being able to see why the inventory was so high at the time. Service levels depended on the portfolio, on the product portfolio. So our manufacturing was not too bad because we have very short lead times there, so we can produce an item within 3 days. So while we probably weren't having the most optimal inventory levels, we could expedite things quite quickly. Where we were having troubles with our service levels were our longer lead time items, where we were either holding too much or not enough, and our service levels were suffering as a result. But B2Y's had a proven record of being able to implement the DDMRP method and help the businesses reduce the inventory. It also, when we were shown when we were given models of the product, it was quite a simple idea. The layout, the functionality of it was quite easy to follow, but still installing the DDMRP methodology. So it looked like it worked well. It also offered customization for our business because every business is quite unique, so including ours, and they offered customization to help us make the most use out of the methodology and the system. We can clearly split the portfolios, the product range between the planners. That was a bit cloudy before in MRP. So the planners, although they had sort of a rough idea of what their portfolio was, it was overlapping and things were getting missed. So B2Ys gives you a very clear filtering system. So the planners go in and they see their items and only plan for their items. And they do get notification if downstream items are going to affect their portfolio. But it's very simple for them to go in. They know exactly what they need to focus on because of the priority colours, but also because they've got their set range of products that they look after. So that's a major thing for the planners, and ease of knowing what they need to look after has been fantastic. The quick action alerts, which again is not a customization just for us, but it has really helped to give a day in the life of the planner, so they can move through their top priority tasks for the day. So look at your items that need expediting, look at your items that are running late but may not need expediting, but look at the items, then do your planning and release your orders, then go in and do your analysis for your items. So once you've done your morning tasks, take a breather, like critical tasks in the morning, take a breather, come back and then do your analysis for the rest of the day. And again, that wasn't something that the planners could do before. They would spend the whole day trying to release orders and expediting and trying to move things out. So that's a big difference in the day in the life. So we had a development done for us, which helped us manage our blanket order functionality or our blanket order system that we have with Minova. So we hold stock obviously at the vendor, we draw it in as we need. We've never been able to do that effectively in MRP. We have had to use Excel sheets or just sort of wung it, if I could say. So B2Wise have developed a blanket order functionality that allows us to see both what we've got at the vendor and making sure that we've got sufficient stock at the vendor, but also then knowing when to call that stock off to replenish our buffers at our warehouses. And that is working a treat. That's working fantastically. We've got another set of developments that we'd like to put through as well, which we're talking with Isha and the team. So, you know, it's probably never going to end. They are very positive about it. Very positive about it. So they are, they know what they have to do in a day. They know that they're quite comfortable that they're bringing in the inventory that needs to be brought in and not bringing in stuff that doesn't need to be brought in. Whereas before they were reacting to a safety stock that they weren't entirely sure if that was right, but they didn't have time to review the safety stock, so they would just order. Often would just order. And now they're a lot more confident in their planning and their planning skills. And they do feel like they're giving value to the business because they are only bringing in stuff that needs to be brought in. Yeah, so we have in the financial year reduced our inventory by just over 20%, which is mostly due to not bringing in items that we don't need to bring in. So our natural, I guess you could say, an organic reduction in our inventory because we're only bringing in the stuff that is important for the business. Service levels we've met the target for the year, so we're on 96%. Next year we're going to try a higher target again, but we met that with ease, basically, not even having to expedite things or, you know, our air freight bill, I should say, has gone right down, you know, well down, not even barely a blip this year. But we've managed to meet the target without having to expedite, without having a lot of pressure on the business to try and get that target. We got it relatively easily. So we're going for a stronger target next year. So what we'd like to concentrate now is a more strategic inventory review. So although we've gone through an organic reduction, now we're going for a more targeted reduction, focusing on things like minimum order quantities and lead times and product rationalization. And we can get that data from B2Wise, the analysis from B2Wise. We get that directly from B2Wise, but also from the data mart that the B2Wise data dumps into. And with that information, yeah, we're going on a more strategic review of our inventory. Strongly encourage it. It's definitely do it. Definitely do it. I'm not going to lie, it was tricky. It was, there's a lot of late night calls or early morning calls, but B2Wise were incredibly accommodating. So they would do their late night calls. We would do exchanges, late night calls and early mornings each. B2Wise also came out to the country several times and did training courses and implementation workshops. So there was certainly no lacking in customer service. It definitely, without doubt, would have been easier, to have someone in the same time zone, sure, but the implementation probably would have gone a bit quicker. But can't fault the service level and the communication with B2Wise. It was, for having such a big time difference, it did work. It worked in the end.